Hey guys, Matt here with another JaYoe conversation today. We're going to talk a little bit with Oli Barrett. If you know of him and his dad have a channel called the Barrett Channel. And we were just sitting here. We're in an auditorium where we're in a lecture hall.
Yeah.
It's a very corporate event.
Yeah.
I am underdressed. I don't have sleeves, so that's bad. But we were talking about the type of people that thrive in China and the type of people that don't. And that's it's an interesting topic because it doesn't mean that you're bad or good. China won't cater to you more if you're a good person or if you're a bad person. Equally, you could fit in here. But there are some traits that if you have, it's not really good to come to China, and in other ways, it's really good to come to China. So why don't we talk about the different traits that are positive, right? So we'll start with that. Do you have one?
I think a common denominator between people that thrive here is definitely open-mindedness.
Open-minded.
And the will to just embrace things, good or bad, that happen.
Yeah.
Because just like in any country, you go somewhere and there are going to be some things that you don't really like so much. But if you attack them with the right attitude and just with open-mindedness, then you'll get through it, and maybe it'll become a story to tell.
Right.
And
right.
Some people, they are not so open-minded, and they might expect it to be like their own country, and they get quite bitter about these things.
What were you just talking about? You were saying you got a story to tell. What was that anecdote you were just telling me?
Right, about the hotel?
Yeah.
Right, so there's been occasions with both of us now where we haven't been able to stay in hotels.
Yeah.
So there was one time in a more rural province in Qinghai where I was going around for about 2 hours trying to find a hotel to stay in. And, they wouldn't allow foreigners at this time.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it is because of COVID or something else, but, I couldn't go in. So my girlfriend at the time had to kind of go in with the driver, book a room, come out and sneak me in.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like I was like an illegal immigrant, to be honest. But
I mean,
I'll never forget that.
Right, that experience that you had, you will remember way more than the easy check-in.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of people out there that are very rigid, like maybe they live in Europe or maybe they live in America, and their life is so rigid and so comfortable for them that any diversion or change from that would be deemed a negative.
Yeah.
So we've seen those people in China. They're kind of like the self-hating expat in a lot of ways. Oh, I hate this job.
Yeah.
I hate this place. And like yesterday, I wish you missed it. It was really awesome. He was a bit under the weather yesterday, but we were walking down the street yesterday, and people were coming out of the woodwork to talk to us and take pictures with us. And if you were a person with a trait that was a bit non-interpersonal, like some people are very closed off, right? They don't want to be touched. They don't want to be integrated with. If that's your style, if that's who you are, that's probably, you probably don't want to come to China, right? It's probably a bad thing. If you don't like interacting with people in public, that's probably an indication that you might not fit in really well as a Chinese expat.
Right,
Would that be right?
And especially the more rural you go,
Yeah.
the more that's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it can be kind of interesting. Sometimes it's kind of flattering. But then, if you are caught on a day where you're in a not so good mood or something, you do kind of have to, roll with it.
Would you say that this would be a good place to come if you knew that you were an introvert and you wanted to try to change that in yourself?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
This might be the best place. Because you cannot, unless you locked yourself in your house, which is very hard to do in China because you kind of have to go out and do things. This is a great place to challenge your worldview and to broaden your horizons with respects to meeting people and interpersonal connections.
That's true.
Right?
I came here. The only reason I came here, to be honest, is because my dad was already in China, and I wasn't at that time financially stable to live by myself. So,
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that he was here and not in another European country or something, because like the culture difference is so huge that that's what keeps it so interesting for me. Like I've been here 18 months going on 2 years now, and still like almost every day I'm looking around at different scenarios, seeing, wow, that's kind of different. Oh, that's strange how that turned out, and it just keeps things interesting.
Do you think that China is a good place if you have a lack of self-confidence?
If like you said before, you're trying to like combat that and evolve, then yeah, I would say so. Because
I think if like you come here, people are like extra friendly to you because you're different, because you're a foreigner in a land that is overwhelmingly Asian.
You've touched on an interesting point there, actually. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I can see that some people, you do get a bit of extra sort of attention and stuff as you come here as a foreigner, and I have seen some people let that get to their head. It's kind of similar. It's kind of similar to doing a YouTube channel, and people get more subscribers, so they start letting it change their personality, and that can happen coming here in China, and it's something that I definitely try and keep a note on, and
stay humble.
Stay humble, for sure. Because you hear some people who have been here for 2 years and they start to feel entitled to more things than they or ever will be in their own country.
The way you're treated in China is not the way that you're going to be treated everywhere.
No.
Right?
No.
And you could like sort of feel that maybe, oh shit, I was a superstar in China. I was elevated in some ways, or maybe it was easier to make friends, because it's very easy to, it's easier to make friends in China in some ways than other places. I mean, obviously different types of friends, and that's a whole topic in itself, like different types of friends that you make in China.
Maybe one point we could sort of segue into and end off on would be that there's also a lot of people that I've met where it's quite easy to tell whether they are the kind of person who's come to live here and embraced it, or they've come to live here and become sour and bitter and resentful and can't wait to leave. Yeah. And you can quite easily tell when you have an opening conversation with someone what type of person they are out of those two. And some people if they say they can't wait to leave and these things, and I think China is not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody, but there are a lot of people I've met here and who have evolved their character, like myself, a lot since they've come here. So
are you a different Oli today than you were?
I am literally an unrecognizable person from when I came here. Seriously. And I guess I'm proud of that change.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking to evolve, if you're looking to elevate to another level, travel in general, right? It doesn't have to be China. It's just travel in general. Yeah. But China is a very good place to challenge your worldview and grow.
For sure. Yeah. And I don't know how long I will be here, but I definitely think I could live here for a fair few more years, definitely.
The reason I brought this topic, is because we're sitting in this big auditorium and we're about to watch this sort of promo video and be part of this thing. We're kind of pawns right now. We're a bit pawns in this whole thing. We're good. This is JaYoe.
These are the most popular people I know. Oh, and Lee on the other side. But Lee won't come and sit with us because I don't know.
I think
he's too popular. He's one of those people we were just talking about.
We're just little people now, and Lee's he's in his own little world over there. But you come here and you change. I was listening to what you guys were saying. You come here and you change your life, and it's one of those things that you sort of reinvent yourself when you come to China, because you can be anything that you want to be. And with me, I retired. And I changed my whole existence. I sold everything in Canada. I came over to China, and I actually reinvented myself into the YouTube world. And it's changed our lives, Wei Fong and my life, to the point where we come to like these events. We go on sponsored trips. We're shilling like villains, but it's more than that.
You took that from me.
Yeah, I stole it from Matt, but other people stole it from me. So it's making its rounds. But you can see the difference between somebody like Oli, somebody like Matt, somebody like Lee, somebody like myself, that we see the positive in what we're doing, and we see a way to better ourselves and expand our experiences in this world that we live in. And then there's others that come over and nothing is good for them. They're the ones that don't last. Those are the ones that wouldn't matter if they ended up at Buckingham Palace. It wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah, but surprisingly, some of those people last a long time. I mean, I've known some self-hating expats that have lived here for like 5-6 years.
That's not a long time.
I know. It was a long time to me, a long time ago. Like that was like.
That would be a long
Remember
time
when
for
you
me.
first came here and you? Well, okay, you're in that position. Remember when you first came here and you talked to somebody that was here for 5 years and you're like, "Holy shit, man, that is a long time, brother."
Yeah, I knew people back then that had been here for 10, 12 years at that time. But now that even seems short for me. Because, I'm going on my 18th year, and I couldn't see it any other way. Like when we go back to Canada, 2-3 weeks, I want to turn around and come back to China because the world over here is different, and this is what I'm accustomed to now, and I love it here. This is our future.
JaYoe.
Yeah, it's a good note to end on.
Yeah. The reason I brought this up specifically was that we're in this big auditorium. It's a business venue. You could look at this as, I gotta sit here through a bunch of people speaking and just with no beer. But it's all in how you perceive it. It's all in the friends that you have with you. It's all in the place that you are and appreciating it. But this is an amazing event that we're sitting around and we're being entertained and we're being trucked around and all this cool stuff,
3 words I'm going to say. Life is perspective.
Oh, I like that. That's, I have a similar one. I say, live an experiential life. Like not happy, sad, whatever, as long as it's full of experiences. Different. This is one experience. We're gonna leave this place to have another one. As long as it's full of experiences, there's no regret there, right?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Take it easy, guys. JaYoe. If you want to check out my Patreon, I have links below. WeChat code, all sorts of fun stuff. Check it out. We are doing some amazing things here with Lee and Oli and Kirk and Mexicanos in China, which is across the way. We'll be talking to them more. If you have any topics you'd like to talk about, put it in the comment section below and drop us a like, and we'll talk to you later.
JaYoe, guys.
Bye.
Bye now.